Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, keeps telling his gullible backbenchers, those over there, that he's deported 24,000 people from this country since he came into power. But he won't say who these people are. Now, it's my guess that they are people that came on work visas, students, and they are simply overstayers. But I'm willing, Mr. Speaker, to be proved wrong if you can answer one simple question. How many of these people that he's deported are failed asylum seekers that's come on small boats or on the back of lorries? Answer the question.
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud that we've removed over 24,000 people. That's the highest record for nearly 10 years. We're taking other measures to get back control of our borders, including the Borders Bill, which gives our law enforcement enhanced powers, including terrorism-like powers. What did his party do? What did he do? He voted against them. And I'll tell you why he voted against them. Because they don't want to fix this problem. Because it benefits them. It benefits them not to fix it. Party before country. It's very good he's standing in for the member for Clacton, I have to say. There was no sign of him yesterday at the EU. So he was the first through the E-gates somewhere to south of France. Nice work if you can get it.
Keir Starmer's snide response to Reform MP Lee Anderson's direct question wasn't just evasive. It was a masterclass in political cowardice masquerading as wit. When asked how many failed small boat asylum seekers he has deported, Starmer didn't give a number. He didn't cite a policy. He didn't even attempt to explain his stance on one of the most explosive issues facing Britain today. Instead, he made a petty jab at Nigel Farage and mocked Anderson for daring to bring real accountability to the dispatch box. Why? Because Starmer has no answer. He is terrified of this question. It's a legitimate question. How many illegal crossings has Starmer actually reversed? How many people who arrived on small boats, failed asylum claims, and remained illegally have been deported under Labour's watch or leadership? The British public deserves an answer, but instead of providing one, Starmer played the clown, turning a crisis in border enforcement into a punline. And in doing so, he showed us exactly what he is. A man who prefers to dodge uncomfortable truths rather than confront the failures of his party and his ideology. This is the same Starmer who once advocated for free movement, who stood silently while his party branded border control as racist, and who has spent years opposing every serious measure to deal with illegal migration. Now, with the country overwhelmed by channel crossings, public services strained, and confidence in the asylum system at an all-time low, he's finally being asked to account for his position. And he reacts with sarcasm. That's not leadership. That's a political lightweight hiding behind smugness. And let's not miss the broader insult here. When Starmer mocked Anderson's reference to Farage, what he was really mocking was every voter who is fed up with unchecked migration and wants real answers, not deflections, not jokes, not empty posturing. Starmer treats this issue like theatre. But for communities across Britain facing housing shortages, overwhelmed GP clinics, and crime linked to asylum chaos, this isn't theatre, it's reality, and Starmer has chosen to sneer at it rather than solve it. If Keir Starmer had even a shred of courage, he would have answered the question. If he believed in border enforcement, he'd be proud to name the number of deportations. But he didn't, because he hasn't. And rather than own up to that failure, he made a joke about Farage on holiday. That's not a prime minister in waiting. That's a career politician addicted to deflection and terrified of principle. The country doesn't need another smirking lawyer sidestepping every hard issue. It needs someone willing to confront uncomfortable realities and defend the nation's borders without flinching. Keir Starmer just proved, again, that he is not that man.
Mr. Speaker, this is a Prime Minister who says he's taking measures. The jobs tax is killing jobs. Inflation is up. Business confidence is down. Everyone is worried. He promised to cut bills, but today we see they are rising because of his policies. He promised not to raise taxes on working people, but his jobs tax means people are losing their jobs. Every week we come here with a new company that is saying they are shedding jobs. That's on his watch. He promised to protect pensioners, but his winter fuel cut has driven thousands into hardship. His MPs hate this. He can't see them, but they all look sick just hearing what it is he's going to do. So let's wait until... Oh yes, they're laughing. They're laughing. They're laughing.
I expect better from whips. And boys on at the back, I've got my eye on you. Let me bear that.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order. Sorry. Which one wants to leave first? If I hear it, there we are. They've got the first volunteer. Are you going to behave? Can we behave?
Mr. Speaker, they are laughing just as they laughed at the budget. Hands up who here wanted winter fuel cuts. Hands up. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them. The fact of the matter is, this Prime Minister is destroying them. They need to look at what they are doing to the country. The truth is, we all know that it's this Prime Minister, this Labour government, and their policies that are shafting the country, isn't it?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, they look in pretty good form to me, and there's lots of them. Mr. Speaker, she talks about business confidence. Yesterday I didn't have time to read out the list of all the businesses that have come out in support of our EU deal. Mr. Speaker, I don't have time today. It's a long list. I went immediately to Lidl and spoke to the staff in Lidl. They're delighted with the deal we put forward yesterday. Business like the work we're doing. It's giving them confidence in the EU deal. She's opposed to each and every measure.
Kemi Badenoch's sharp criticism in the Commons cut through the noise with brutal clarity. The winter fuel cuts are driving thousands of pensioners into hardship. Real, immediate, and devastating hardship. While she painted a grim but honest picture of the consequences of policy decisions, Keir Starmer's response was a masterclass in tone, deaf arrogance. Instead of engaging with the substance, the suffering of elderly citizens, many of whom now face cold homes and unpayable bills, Starmer smirked, glanced over his shoulder, and cracked a joke about the size and appearance of the Labour benches. "They look in pretty good form to me," he said, as if the health and morale of his MPs somehow counterbalance the fact that vulnerable pensioners across the country are choosing between heating and eating. His response was flippant, shallow, and frankly shameful. Badenoch was talking about a humanitarian failure, Starmer answered with a soundbite. This wasn't just a missed opportunity for leadership. It was a revealing moment of callous political theatre. The leader of the opposition was handed a serious, urgent challenge: defend or clarify his party's position on a cut that's left elderly citizens in the cold. Instead, he offered a smug quip about how lively his maps look. The elderly don't need lively amps, Keir. They need heating, support, and a government that gives a damn.
Worse still, Starmer's failure to even acknowledge the real-world consequences of his policies reinforces a growing perception that Labour under his leadership is all optics. No empathy.
He's more focused on how the Commons looks than on what the country is living through. And in a moment when the vulnerable are crying out for relief, he gave them nothing but a political wink and a rehearsed line. This is the kind of moment that should haunt a serious leader. But for Starmer, it was just another PR opportunity, another moment to dodge accountability and turn national hardship into parliamentary banter. It's not just out of touch. It's offensive. Britain's pensioners deserve better. And if Starmer can't even take their suffering seriously in the Commons, how can anyone expect him to fight for them in government?